Hello people, welcome back to The Lost Crown. Ranical, thank you for lurking, don't worry about it. Appreciate you being here either way, in whatever capacity, but don't worry if, you can't be, that's fine. And Nevik, hello, hope you're doing well, having a good day. Yes, thank you for dropping by. Cell death, cell death, cell death. Not entirely sure what you're referencing there. But I appreciate you being here either way. Yes, welcome back to The Lost Crown. Last play, I think we were on save 4. Let it load up. Where are we? Oh yeah, it's not 2019, so it'll be the last one at 2021. There we are. We just discovered the church in Northfield. This is Northfield Church, funnily enough. Yeah, so apologies for being a bit late today. I was watching a film and then I got a phone call and then I continued watching the film. It was only riff tracks, but if you know them, they're worth hanging around for. So I just had to finish that off. Right, anyway, yes. So where we left off before, we got this really weird divide here for some reason. Spoiler, I don't think that's ever explained. I don't know what is going on with this whole mirrored image bit here. It doesn't make any sense to me whatsoever. But we have some crows and a graveyard.
Large black crows are watching me.
Yes, that's them. Turn the sound up for me a bit. There we go. It's annoying this game doesn't really have any more settings because the music always drowns out the voices slightly. But, work with what we got. Anyway. Graveyard. And he goes underneath the line as well. It's very weird. Oh.
A rusty metal letter.
Rusty metal letter. Yoink. We'll have that. I don't know why we've got this. We don't know why we need this right now, but we will do. Yeah, I like the fact that he walks behind this crease as well. It's very weird. Because you'd think if they needed more, like they've taken the photo here and they're just like, it's too short. What? Just stretch it out a bit, or move it over or something. But whatever. Anyway, onwards. Actually,
the graveyard is well kept for somewhere so isolated.
We shall meander down the path this way. So we don't. I'm trying to recall, do we understand why we're here? Why did we need to be here for the Lost Crown is what we're looking for. I think maybe it was just to see if there were any clues here with regards to Northfield, which is the village that used to be here but is no longer, and it might have some reference to the Aegers and such. I think that's what we're doing.
The door is rusted shut.
Yes, it is.
Is that a crown?
God, Jesus Christ. My bloody cats are flying in the background.
Yes.
Stop it, you two.
Definitely a crown.
Plenty of room for both of you. Anyway. Sorry, chatting over that. Right, okay, yes. We just picked up a book with lost crowns on it. How handy. Well, lost crowns. With crowns on it, They're all over the place around here.
A rusty metal letter.
Another letter. Now, we can go down this way, we can go this way, we can also go this way. So there are 4 locations right here. Let's go this way round. Strange little...
A pile of rubble, masonry, and broken gravestones, covered in weeds and flowers. Nature is taking back what was borrowed.
What was borrowed? I guess, yeah. The way of putting it. Unnecessarily verbose, really. But we can go all the way around this church.
The church window contains stained glass, illustrating Bible stories.
It's also really weird that stained glass is in black and white. Because, of course, it has no real meaning otherwise. Very strange. Anyway.
Large black crows.
Or black crows. I'm going to wander up towards this door. I can't remember what's up here. Okay, a strange transition, that's what.
No one has been through there for decades.
I don't know how he would know that, necessarily, but,
No one has been through there for decades.
Sure. Oh yeah, and this is a separate hotspot. Because we need this here.
A rusty metal letter.
A pretty well disguised letter, to be honest.
Decorative gravestone.
Aren't all gravestones decorative in a fashion? I wouldn't call them separate. Separately descriptive, I should say. God, I'm in a bit of a tizzy today, so the words are all over the place. I'll try not to ramble too much. But let's face it, this is one of my streams. It's bound to. Oh, we're just stopping here. Oh, okay. I expect them to just keep going like previous. Well, the only other way is up here then, isn't it? Oh, yes, right, okay. Is he going to talk about crows again?
Large black crows are watching me.
Okay, fair enough. We will come back to this. I won't reveal it just yet because it feels like a bit like a sequence break if we do that. But there is a hotspot there to look at. I'm not going to look at the down crows again. Another letter?
A rusty metal letter.
And keep going around. It's odd that he says that for every single one. I think they'd vary it slightly. So here's North Yard. And this is my second favourite. My second favourite character in the game. Okay. No, it's
Whether they find it.
Excuse
snort.
me.
I like that.
May I disturb you?
No worries, lad. You don't disturb me.
Strange job you have, Gravedigger. Nigel just has a way with words. Why would you call the job strange? Everybody knows it's got to happen. It's just an odd thing to say, but whatever.
Strange job you have. Grave digging.
Preparing the bed is what I prefer to call it.
Whatever gets you through the day, I guess.
I'm visiting the church. I've travelled from Saxton.
Well, ain't that something? Run along, lad. Do your visiting.
Yep, visiting. Why do the crows not come to this area of the church? I guess he made a specific point of pointing out that that crows are everywhere. It is, you know, reasonable to assume that he would recognise that they're not in this location. But otherwise, it seems like an odd question because it's just like, well, it's just this tiny little area. And
Why
maybe
do
crows
the crows
don't like it.
not come into this area of the churchyard?
Them old crows know better than to dwell near open graves.
Do they? Also, that's a brand new grave. But that looks like the headstone for it, and that is definitely not brand new.
Can you spare me a few moments? I have some questions.
I'm rather busy, lad. If I can get my work done, I'll have some time for you.
Perhaps I can help it. See, we're sort of moving into RPG territory here.
Perhaps I can help.
That you probably can.
Just say the word, and I'll be straight on it.
Oh, lad, you are eager. Perhaps you'll be the lucky one.
The lucky one?
Oh, don't mind me. Just speaking out loud. I'm only used to the birds, you see.
Speaking out loud.
Damn birds. Black as ink they are. They've taken poor Tom again, taken him, and scattered him all over.
Scattered.
What do you mean?
Taken his name, and scattered him all over. If you put poor Tom together again, I reckon I might have a few moments to, converse.
Okay, I'll see what I can do.
The one that doesn't end up dead. Hello, Toadis. Welcome. How's your
always digging.
How are you feeling today? How you doing? I should say, really. That's more appropriate, I guess. Hope you're doing well. Or it's
It ain't right.
well into night time where you are, obviously. Yeah, we I guess ultimately we probably are feeling lucky because we're not dead yet. But
A rusty metal letter.
when he mentions they've taken Tom, what they're talking about is the fact that there is a gravestone with some metal letters on it, and
With me own bed.
it's those we have to sort out. and I was gonna say reapply to the gravestone. That just sounds weird, but you know what I mean. We'll do that, and then he'll talk to us, because that's a job he doesn't need to do. Getting late. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing fine, thank you. It's a touch later today, but you know, it's not the end of the world. I was just mentioning that I was watching a film and got interrupted, and I just finished off the film, so everything ran a bit late. So now we are wandering around the church, picking up
A rusty metal letter.
them. I don't believe there are any more this way, but I'll have a quick check. We'll just continue our search around the an oxidized ferrous character. Yes. Continue our church around the
black crows.
I was looking at the gravestone. Yeah, sorry. We'll continue our wander around the church and just make sure we've seen it all. William Ager.
William Ager. Ager. A name to look out for.
Yes, well, we've already seen it a couple of times. Finally at peace, long may he rest.
3 crowns. A link to the legend.
There is 1918 to 1949, so he was only 21. 21 to 31, sorry. I can get maths right, it's fine. So he's not very old at all. Well, the Agers are a weird bunch of characters in that they're often, I'll just say this now, they're often depicted together or as close relations, whilst also seemingly spanning centuries. It's very weird, and I sometimes find it very hard to get it all straight in my head exactly who was where and when, and how or if they could have known each other. It's an odd kind of a situation. Anyway, so that brings us back here. I believe if we go this way, we loop around the back that way. Doesn't do anything because it's still literally just the same way round. But I think that may be all the letters. Let's go sort out the gravestone and see if I've missed any. There's always a good chance, because there's a surprising amount of them, and I can never remember if I've got them all or not. Right, okay, here we are. Oh god, yeah, we still got all these plants on us. Okay, here we are. Right, so, T. Henry Oliver. Yeah, we seem to have got it all. Only 6. Nice, okay.
Tom Oliver. So now I know. The gravestone is complete.
Nice. On the 24th of August. How unfortunate.
Tom
Oh, damn it. Sorry, I didn't realise he was going to repeat himself there. I thought he was going to offer something new.
The gravestone is complete.
Okay. So if we go talk to the gravedigger, who I don't think has named himself yet. Oh. Clicked out the window for a second.
Excuse me. May I disturb
We
you?
can tell him his job is done. He'll give us a few minutes to answer questions.
No worries, lad. You don't disturb me.
I finished putting poor old Tom back together.
That you have, lad. He's looking on you kindly now. I've got more time for your
sure.
questions, if you have something to ask.
Right, why are there so many crows in the churchyard? Yeah, but I mean, is that really a thing to ask? I mean, once crows we live near a wood, which thankfully we're not close enough to hear it, but if you get near it, there are so many crows in it, it's deafening. I think once they find a place, they're like, hey, this is our place now, and it just gets insane.
Why are there so many crows in the churchyard?
They say there's a crow for every soul in this yard. They do. Watch how they be looking at you. The bad side of a crow's gaze has been known to strike a man down where he stands.
That and the beat to the eyes. Ah.
Does the name Ager mean anything to you?
Agers, is it? I should have known. What you be wanting with them?
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay, did you know any of the Ager family?
Did you know any of the Ager family?
Yes, I knew William Ager. Not personally, but I knew of him. He wasn't, how shall I say this? Quite right in the head. A bit simple, if you know what I mean. Oh, this was back in the 1940s.
Yes, it would have been.
Ager didn't go to fight. He was sickly. Bad breathing, bad heart, bad everything. They say the family spread their seed too thinly. Deformities and so forth.
That's worthy of note. Was there a connection between the Agers and I thought that said land. I was like, what the hell? And the
Was there a
Anglo-Saxon crown.
connection between the Agers and the legend of the Anglo-Saxon crown?
There's talk that those Agers knew the location of that last crown, and I'm guessing they weren't the only ones. People don't go looking for things that don't need finding. The people of the Fens
Yes, they
are
do.
superstitious folk, you know. They believe in the old ways, the ways of the land. It's best not to disturb them who sleep.
I love the fact that it says them that sleep and he says them who sleep. And you're like, well, because, slight side story, both these characters are the same voice actor. You're like, didn't you write to this? Surely you'd know how it would be best pronounced.
What connections do the Agers have with the church?
Oh, that's a good one. Thomas Ager was a rector of this parish 200 years past. Odd fellow he was. Greedy and deceitful. We ain't allowed to talk about him to the vicar. He won't hear a bad word against him. But I can tell you there was darkness in his heart. Old Nick knew it. Some say it cost him his life. Poor old Nick.
So that's another Ager, Thomas Ager, is 200 years, so we'll say about 150-ish, before William Ager. We're going to find out more.
Where can I find out more about the Ager family?
William Ager? He died in the 40s. Terrible for him it was. He died of tuberculosis. Water on the lungs. I heard he was near hysterical, terrified that there'd be no one left to carry the family name. You see, some folks say the Agers were guarding a great secret, entrusted to the family for centuries. I'd start with the museum folks in Saxton, or old Nanny Noah. She knows a thing or two.
Okay, that's handy.
Can I ask about something else?
Go ahead, lad.
Church is very isolated.
The
Why is that?
church is very isolated. Why is that?
A great plague. The Black Death. 12th century it was. A terrible time, lad. Truly terrible. Dead littered the streets and lanes of Northfield. Cattle and livestock roamed the country, unattended. Brother deserted brother. Mother deserted her young. 1/3 of the people died, all across Europe. Timber buildings soon rot away, and there ain't nothing to show for Northfield. It's a ghost of its former self.
Of course, sorry, I completely forgotten that the cell death was reference to metaphobia. I'm sorry, I completely forgotten that. Any cell death, I'm sure there probably would have been at some point with the plague, you know. Given enough time.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Aye, that I do. The friends we have in life are still with us.
With us. Are there any ghosts here at Northfield? Right, okay. Jeez, another dialogue tree.
Are there any ghosts here at Northfield?
Aye, I'd say so. Old Nick walks this churchyard after dark. He's looking for something, that's for sure. You've probably met old Nick. He's in the church, laid out on his back, poor devil. I be reckoning he's the one you want to see. A word of warning, though. Be careful how you're looking on him.
Are we named Agate? No, we are Nigel Danvers. And I don't believe there's any connection. I don't think there's any reference to him being an Ager at any point. Who knows? This would be not just weird, it'd be a hilarious episode of Who Do You Think You Are? Woo! All my ancestors are mental patients who spread their seed too thin. We don't stand a ghost of a chance.
What do you think ghosts are?
Well, I never. What a question. I can't say I know. Spirits, maybe? Those who need to move on. There's something they have to know. Or something they want to tell us. Maybe they've got unfinished business with the living. Either way, I don't bother them and they don't bother me.
I think that's probably the best way to think about ghosts. You know, if you believe in them, does it really matter? It's like I've never understood people who are scared of ghosts. I've literally never heard of anyone hurt by a ghost, only ever in movies, you know. And if you believe those depictions, then that's your own fault, really. Beyond that, just, you know, the world happens as it is, and, you know, just let it be.
Can I come back here tonight to ghost hunt?
Hunting ghosts, is it? Those who go looking for the dead are asking for trouble. You watch what you're doing. The dead folk of Northfield won't take kindly to any disrespect. But if you're determined, I'm thinking I might leave the doors open tonight and light you a few candles.
Woo!
Can
That's
I
our
ask
progress
about
noise.
something else?
Go ahead, lad.
Very isolated, believing. I think that's
I'll
it.
get on with my visit.
Be seeing you, laddie. Be seeing you.
BC is like the words of a stalker you don't know you have. Anyway, so we've done our perusing around the outside of the church. We've got already got our permission to return here tonight, which is a bonus. Now let's just go wandering around inside.
The flowers are dry, old, and
It's
brittle.
also the catchphrase from the prisoner. Is it be seeing you? Oh, I never saw The Prisoner, I have to admit. Although it is a damn good Iron Maiden song. We got some random notices up here. May you have walls for the wind and a roof for the rain, and drinks beside the fire, laughter to cheer you, and those you love near you, and all that your heart may desire. I couldn't tell if that was those or these. Parish Church, Northfield Church, and a nimble history. Foundations been built upon an Anglo-Saxon settlement and chapel. Tower built upon existing foundations by Ugaf Fluther III in 1320. What a name. The nave was extended from an original building in 1390. The interior features a Elizabethan carved slate from around 1590. Many stained glass windows in good to reasonable condition. It sounds like an eBay listing. A Gothic carved roof, rood screens separates the south aisle from the chapel. The tomb of Nicholas Gurney, carved from elven stone in a romantic style around 1780. I've never heard of elven stone before. I don't know what that actually is. I mean, it just looks like marble to me, to be honest. Northfield Parish Church. The church is open all day, every day to promote quiet contemplation and opportunity for prayer. Please note the building is not a playground. Graffiti artists will be prosecuted. You have been warned. Please treat the building with respect. A religious site has existed here for more than 2,000 years. For details of services, please contact the vicar, who can be found in the vestry, daytimes only. Or if you wish to locate a burial, find a grave, learn graveyard crafts, or get your hands dirty, please speak to Mr. Russet, who can always be found pottering around the graveyard to seek him out. That was the man we just spoke to, Mr. Russet. And in the middle here, Thursday, 4th of May, memorial service for Evelyn or Evelyn. I've heard it pronounced both ways. I think it entirely depends on sort of your accent and, you know, obviously how the person pronounced it themselves. Evelyn Ackland, to be held in Northfield Parish Church, 3 p.m. sharp. Note to parishioners and flower arrangers. Please no plastic flowers. Mr. Russet almost lost consciousness after throwing the last ones on church bonfire. Please let's not kill the church wardens. Graveyard crafts. I hate to think what it could be. Yes, yeah. There's more than just digging graves. It goes on in graveyards. apparently involves burning flowers as well. Right. Oh, actually, we got a book here we didn't look at.
Thomas Ager.
Corpse Topiary. Ooh. So we have Thomas Ager's journal, who is, existed some 200 years ago, and his book was just lying under a door sill, essentially. I don't mean sill at all, do I? You know where it was, you saw it in the video. Anyway, Ager House, Raven Lane, Northfield, Anglia. So in this location generally, but like we said, approximately 200 years ago, Gurney has seen and heard enough. He invites his own demise. Stitch those gossiping lips and gouge those prying eyes. Oh, he was a poet, I see. Okay. I'll take these burrowing hands of his and bury them deep under tombs of stone. Gurney has seen and heard enough. I spoke with my brothers by candlelight. A pact was sealed that endless night. No one, not a soul, must disturb the crown. All would fall, all would drown. From leafy hedge to the stony town, no thieving fool or greedy filth must ever find the crown. I probably didn't do that justice, but whatever. And then some random sketches of things. That's all we know. A huge book for not very much. Anyway, we've got a random table here. We can throw our things on it, including our camera. We don't know why we're doing this. It's just
Perfect.
Just do.
This will capture any visitors or paranormal phenomena.
Or us. Just randomly walking in front and setting it off. It has a motion detector, apparently. That's probably in the instructions that I didn't bother reading last time.
The Black Death comes to East Anglia. Ugh, morbid.
We won't go on about this. We all know what the Black Death was. There we go. I think that's the only book here. Yes. Has a large hotspot, but that's it. Oh, see, he's going to get in front of the camera just to look up at the wall here. Foundations built upon Anglo-Saxon settlement and chapel. Thank you for unnecessarily pointing that out. Now we have down. And that's quite a large, extravagant looking church. So we can go this way, or we can double back around this way and we'll go down this way. And we have stuff here we can look at, but we've just put our camera down. So there's nothing really we can do with these things. Not that easily, anyway. Just looking. Oh, saw an image. Saw a face. It was creepy. Can we do anything with the window? Oh, he'll try. The amount of movement going on in this image when it's clearly just still in the background is very weird. Not seeing much going on there. And that's that. See, I don't believe you can actually do anything with the camera before you put it down. There's no images here that we've missed as far as I'm aware. But if there is, whatever, never mind. It's only a picture on the wall. So something is setting off our EMF meter. Interesting.
The choir stalls are empty.
Yes, everywhere is empty. There's no one here. So we can also look at the rest of the church here somehow. This here, can barely tell. Black line here is a doorway that leads into the vestry. That's where the vicar is. Let's just have a quick look with our camera. There's somebody in the image. At least he's holding it still this time. Oh, and I got my mouse back. And that's that. He just continues on a loop doing that. However, there's also something else of interest. Hello, wifey.
There's definitely something. I should listen to the recording.
That sort of recording prior, you know, when you're recording, it doesn't actually sound like there's a lot on there.
A recording from the church pews.
Whereas some of them are very obvious they've got voices going. Just some weird ringing and some slightly monstrous sounds. Pew pew pew, exactly. I mean, there's more than 3, but yes. So we loop around this. So this is the rude screen they spoke of before. How rude. We can film this as well.
What?
Woodworm having an argument. And yeah, Thomas Ager's name lights up on the rude screen. I don't believe there's any voices here that's worth recording. But there may be, so it's worth a try. Oh. Yeah, maybe there is actually.
There's definitely something.
Oh, wow, okay.
I should listen to the recording.
I wasn't expecting that. I wonder if I've heard this one before.
A recording from the church sanctuary.
Sanctuary. Yeah. Ager took my hands. Oh, Jesus, that's a big distorted, but okay. So he says Ager took his hands. Interesting. And this is the sanctuary slash burial site, I guess. This is Old Nick. We got some interesting things here to look at. I say they're interesting. I mean, if you saw them in real life, they'd probably be quite interesting. They don't mean a lot, all things considered. But it's more interesting the fact that there is so much to see.
Not right. That's not right.
So we can't look at that with our camera.
That's not right.
Can't look at it with our recorder. Doesn't mean anything otherwise. Oh. And our camera just went off. Lots of dead flies around here. Kind of rank.
The shelf is peppered with dead flies. Some still twitch with the last remnants of life.
Lovely. Hang on. Let us run back to our camera and see what's picked up. Still beeping as well, which is kind of weird.
The camera has captured something.
You know, I'd consider that pretty inconclusive with regards to anything. I mean, I guess you could make out a vague shape of a human. That might be a hand here. As to what it's doing, I don't know. A bit random. Oh, but we have our camera back, so I wonder if we can take photos.
That's not right. That's not right.
No, okay, so he won't do that. Let's have a quick look here. Will he take a photo of the root screen?
Not right.
Nope, purely video. Okay. However, we couldn't try it on here before because we didn't have it. So let's have a quick look.
That's not right. The carving features 2 medieval ladies and a coat of arms carved into slate. That's not right.
Oh, okay. We can just look at it. That's all we've got. Oh, but there is a use section here. Let's have a look. Oh. Usual sliding around camera angles.
Nothing.
How odd.
That's not right.
Okay, okay. Oh, nothing going on. So why? Odd that we can use an item here. We can interact, but nothing matters. Interesting. Okay, fair enough. Anyway. Oh, and then we've got these bits up here as well. Let's have a scan. Oh, this is actually the statue. Ghost orbs. This is old Nick.
What on earth is that?
It's a ghost orb. Blinky blinky blink.
This could be orb activity.
Cool. So let's take a photo.
That's not right.
Okay, no, he doesn't want to take a photo. Audio. Phasmophobia, exactly. This is very much like Phasmophobia, but in a third-person perspective, and certainly less creepy. There is something going on there, but he doesn't want to register it. I get the feeling that, based on memory, I get the feeling that may be the same recording that you get at the root screen. I think you can get the same one in 2 places, and that's why he's not registering that there.
That's not right.
Oh, we can zoom in though. Have a closer look at the statue. Do you know his hands
The
are
statue's
missing?
hands appear to be missing.
So when he says he took my hands, he means it very literally. And that's that there. That's that same hotspot. There we go. Okay, loop round this way. Another coat
It's a
of
coat
arms.
of arms.
Yes, yes, it is. Ooh, what's this?
These panels should have some sort of decoration or carving. They have been worn smooth.
Been worn smooth.
These panels should have some sort
say
of
the same thing, okay.
decoration or carving. They have been worn smooth.
So that must have been a conscious action, because there's no way there's anything rubbing on that to wear it down. So someone's gone out their way to get rid of those coats of arms. Oh look, 518. Just random coughs and steps around this place as well is very interesting. Anyway, let's go into the vestry. Jeez, this music is so foreboding, it's crazy. Anyway, now we have a violin with the world's thickest strings. I mean, this is practically like a bass violin, it's crazy. Again, more coins that don't mean anything because they're so big. 3 crowns.
The tapestry features 3 crowns. A link. A definite link to the legend. I must be getting close.
Sure, why not? And then we have this up here.
That's not right.
Oh, he doesn't want that. Okay. Camera. This man looks vaguely
Something about
familiar.
those eyes.
Oh, we can zoom in.
Pure hatred.
Really? Okay. Any noises to pick up? No. Okay, fair enough. I have been dreading this. I do not like this character. He has a terrible voice. I apologise to the voice actor. It's just awful. I'm so sorry. I mean, it's not badly done. It's just bad.
Good afternoon, Vicar. May I speak with you?
Oh, very well, if you must, but time and tide wait for no man. and I've lost something terribly important. I really must find it.
My phone. Shut that up before I started, didn't I? Second? No, I want to mute it. There we go. Mute. No. Oh wow. Okay. That took a while to register. Okay. Maybe I can help you find it again. More quests.
Maybe I could help you
The
find
Vicar.
it.
Yes.
Oh, bless you, dear little man.
What are you looking for?
Can you tell me what we are looking for?
If I could, I would. I simply can't remember. I just know that I need it, and it's terribly important.
So he's lost something and he doesn't know what. He just knows it's important.
Well, where did you leave it?
It's around here somewhere. Oh, and again, let me think. Where would I have put something so important? My memory is not what it was.
You don't say. When did you?
When did you lose it?
Ah,
What's his
I
name?
believe I lost it between Wednesday and Friday.
I'm not sure we actually hear the Vicar's name. I think he's just known as the Vicar. It might come up, but I don't know off the top of my head. Sorry.
Bye for now.
Feel free to wander God's house.
So, we'll cut to the chase. What he's missing is a bit of paper that's going to tell him what he's doing between Wednesday and Friday, which is Thursday.
Thursday. The Vicar lost Thursday.
Yep, that's it. He lost Thursday. He somehow forgot entirely that that day existed and that he had things to do on that day. You'd think with a memory like that he would just, get a diary or something. Or look at the wall with stuff all over it, but he seems so engrossed in this pamphlet he's reading that he can't possibly
Good
remember
afternoon,
things.
Vicar. May I speak with you?
Oh, very well, if you must. For time and tide wait for no man.
I found this on the notice board. It appears to be a service plan for next Thursday.
Oh, dearie me, yes, I lost Thursday. I'm always losing Thursday.
What?
Bless you, young man. My week is complete. Oh, goodness, I'm late delivering Thursday to the flower arrangers. The WI women create the most lovely arrangements. A true symphony of petal, bud, and leaf. Take Thursday and give it to Nanny Noah. She'll know what to do.
Yes, I'm sure I can do that. I was planning to return to Saxton once my business here is finished.
Business? Oh, how very odd. What business?
That's Matt Clark? Matt Clark is Jonathan Boakes' partner. Wow, I didn't realise he voiced it. I probably may have seen it at some point. But yeah, it see, you see the standard of some of the other voices he does. And then there's this one. It's awful. I hate it. And also he's a bad character. A few wafers short of a tabernacle. Just a bit, yeah. I mean, how do you lose an entire day on a regular basis and even, not even remember to look there? Surely, if it becomes so frequent that you forget that one thing, you're going to remember that one thing as the one thing you keep forgetting. But whatever. So yes, so we have to let Nanny Noah know about the flowers, all the WI women. If you're not familiar, the WI is just Women's Institute, it stands for. Oh god, I'm not familiar with the whole history of it, but basically they were a collection of I think came about during the wartime era. They maybe in the First World War they got together. Essentially they were like a community gathering of people who would just get things done, and then it sort of degraded into people who run like church fetes and bake cakes for competitions and things like that. So they're sort of a collection that, it's almost like the Girl Guides but for like middle-aged women or older. So they just sort of help out around around the town, village, wherever they happen to be, that kind of thing. Anyway, right, so now he's got Thursday back, he'll answer our questions.
Does the name Ager mean anything to you?
Ager? Yes, That name does ring a bell. Let me see.
Okay. It does ring a bell.
I believe the Agers lived nearby.
It's a very old name in these parts, so I wouldn't doubt it. There's a William Ager buried in the churchyard, along with his ancestors.
Oh, this music reminds me of the sanctuary music in Zelda. Yes, it's not bad, is it really? Well, thank you. Oh, thank you very much for the follow.
Did the Agers have strong connections with Northfield Church?
Ager, Bager, Seeger, Deeger.
Oh, good heavens, yes. Thomas Ager, who died in 1799, was a rector of this very church. I must say that I am thrilled you find our history so interesting.
Oh my god, so this is the third conversation tree, you know, that we're now stacked in. So yeah, Ager, Beger, Seeger, Deeger, Eger. Jesus, say that 3 times fast. Impossible. I won't even try. So what, I can't even remember what number question we were at in the last one. I don't. Right, he was a vicar.
Thomas Ager was a vicar.
We did know this, to be honest.
No, dear boy. He was a rector. There's a difference.
Oh, apparently. Okay.
Did he worship here? At the church?
Oh, yes. He was a most devout servant. His name is listed on the rood screen by the chancel. You'll find it if you look.
We did have a look and we did find it.
What happened to Thomas Ager?
It's interesting that you should ask, as there's a whiff of mystery surrounding his later years.
So the name rings
He
a bell.
came into a
Here's the
large sum
history.
of money, most of which he ploughed straight back into the church. When money is given to such a worthwhile cause, people tend to accept, no questions asked.
Yeah, blood money.
Did Thomas Ager have a large family?
The Agers were a very large family in Thomas's time. Slowly the family number decreased and finally vanished some years ago. William was the last, poor wretched soul. He drove himself to an early grave, you know. He was in a terrible state. The family line was drawing to a close, and he feared there would be nobody to carry the family name. I always sensed that he carried with him a terrible burden, a secret of some description. Perhaps it was a family secret, passed down from one generation to the next. I dare say old Thomas Ager would have shared the burden in his time. But that is all in the past, and we must always look to the future.
Okay, apparently we just learned something really interesting. Someone named Bob Bear played PC Bob. I don't know if we've even seen PC Bob yet. Let know who the hell Bob Bear is. But yeah, so difference between rectors and vicars have vanished. That's fair. I mean, let's face it, this guy's not looking young, so he's probably very specific on it. Plowed his money back into the church while he bought rolls and crashed it. It's the same thing. Fine. Happened to Thomas Ager. That we know that one. Have a large family. Ask some other questions.
Can I ask some other questions?
Can I ask you? Is it asking about the church? Yes, it is. Is it? Oh God, is that the one we just had?
About the church?
Of course you may. Go ahead.
Oh no. Okay. Right. Wow. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Who is that in the painting?
Ah, that's my great. Oh, he's an ancestor, a very old one. He was vicar of this parish for 50 years, back in the 18th century. He knew a thing or two about keeping the heathen masses subdued. I can only wish I shared his talent in that department. I must say, it is wonderful to meet someone of your generation who is interested in our history. What makes you so different?
What makes you so different? Comes naturally. Always been interested in history. Trust me, Vicar. My generation isn't as bad as you think. Maybe you don't think I'm being nosy. To be honest, I'm actually looking to get rich and famous. Let's just go with generically polite.
I hope you don't think I'm being nosy.
Motivation is always a good thing, no matter what the cause.
Right, okay, so that would have been the same
devil
answer.
makes
no
work
matter
for
what.
idle hands, you know.
So, I believe, based on his appearance, this is supposed to be an Ager in this image, this picture. We looked at him, he has evil eyes and so on. But he's actually a distant relation? Historically distant, I mean, of this vicar. So, he is somewhere along the line an Ager. It's that's sort of like a weird quirk that never seems to sort of get mentioned beyond that.
How long have you been vicar of this church?
A very short time. I moved back to this area 30 years ago. I'm still new to the parish.
30 years? I'm 30.
Still new at 30.
Why do people still see you as an outsider?
There are families around Northfield with ancestry dating back to the Doomsday Book. I am a very new arrival, you see.
Doomsday Book being an old record of lands and peoples, in case you're not aware. Although that would have been... Did that come about just after the Norman invasion? I think so. So that's a sort of 11th century, I believe. My history is not very good. I'm not very good at history. Seems like a lot of voice actors are related. Yeah, I mean, this is a relatively small production, all things considered. It's actually reasonably varied, but you will find these people in other productions as well. So they are definitely sort of closely knit, be it sort of friends and family. But in some ways, I think that provides an extra level of charm.
Who is the statue of the sleeping man?
I have no idea. There are those who know these things, find them interesting, but I am not one of them.
What?
That statue takes up valuable church space and is a distraction to the congregation. It is a trial to keep their attention at the best of times.
Seriously?
It gives off a strange atmosphere, almost as if that corner of the church was special in some way.
Special? I have not noticed anything special.
Only one person has their picture on IMDb. Is that even actually anyone we recognise?
Do you play the violin?
No, not for an awfully long time. There just are not enough hours in the day. The Lord, in all his generosity, provides ample time for contemplation, but my violin will have to wait.
Clemens Curring. Oh yes, he's the technically award-winning actor. He's the one we'll come back to. He plays Celtic Chorders Reese. Yeah, that makes sense that he'd have his image there. He's in some other games we will be playing as well. I won't go any further into that, unless of course you want to delve on your own, but I want to save it for talking about later. Yeah, that makes sense. His image is there. I'm surprised they don't have more bunch of different things. He has, yeah. I mean, he's definitely like a jobbing actor. Is that the term, really? Yeah. He definitely gets around. We Party You. Wow. Okay, I wasn't expecting that one. Anyway, oh yeah. So he doesn't play the violin because there aren't enough hours in the day, whilst he's staring at this damn book for hours,
I bet this old
forgetting
church has
Thursdays.
secrets.
Oh dear, you young people are so adventurous these days. Always looking for darkness in forgotten corners, mystery in your own shadow. And I dare say this building has seen some horrors, mystery, and intrigue. They say the building is built upon an Anglo-Saxon sanctuary of reflection.
Sniper Elite Games, really? Wow.
If you are interested in such things, which you obviously are, you
Yeah,
should speak with old Russet.
we have.
You can find him in the churchyard.
Can I ask some other questions?
Can we go back a layer of questions? Right, so ask about the churchyard.
Can I ask about the churchyard?
I'll help you if I can.
Do you mind the crows? They seem to own the church.
Do you mind the crows? They seem to own the church.
All things
God.
bright and beautiful all creatures great and small. I cannot dislike the crows, dear boy. They are all God's creatures. Do the crows frighten you?
No, the singing does. They're just birds, big black birds. No, actually, why do you ask?
No, they don't frighten me. Why do you ask?
The old faith in these parts believed that the crows were spies and messengers of the Dark Lords and Earth Gods. Silly, superstitious nonsense.
Says a vicar.
Although I must admit that they do seem to watch our progress through life with
Hello.
envious eyes.
Azimuth, welcome. Hello. How are you doing? I hope you're feeling well today. We have been wandering around this church that we found. I don't know how long you've been here, but we're now talking to this rather annoyingly voiced vicar, and commenting on some of the odd voice actors sort of connected in and around the game. But yeah, we found we've done quite a bit of wandering around. You're okay, thanks. Just arrived, no notifications, stupid phone. Oh God, I hate it when that happens. When you go, oh look, something's happening, and it's like, oh yeah, this happened an hour ago or some rubbish. And you're like, for God's sake, oh it wasn't an hour ago. You're like, just why? You get push notifications on for that purpose. Then other times it just doesn't bloody leave you alone. Right, so he doesn't mind the crows. Churchyard is kept very well for such an isolated spot. I'll catch you up to date when we finished.
Very well for such an isolated spot.
Oh yes, Mr. Russet keeps the place looking spick and span when he's not hiding from the crows. He hates the feathered fiends. They terrify him, in fact.
Terrified of crows, interesting.
Why is the church so isolated?
The Black Death, my boy, the Black Death. There was once a thriving community based around the church tower. When the disease struck the village, it came with no warning. Whole generations were lost overnight. Terrible, terrible tragedy. No evidence of the old village remain, as many of the buildings are now hidden by the encroaching woodland beyond the church wall.
The Black Death. Jesus, that was 800 years ago. No one in that time has thought to rebuild the place? Crazy.
Can I ask
I
some
think that's
other
the end of our
questions?
questions here. Okay,
I'll have a
there
look
we go.
around,
Right.
if you don't mind.
Feel free to wander God's house.
Yeah, this is the current vicar of Northfield Church, which is where we are. We have some spooky goings on around here. Just give you another quick display because we can while we're here. Cat. There was the Agers are connected to this place. They are buried here. The last Ager known, William Ager, is buried here, along with Thomas Ager, who was also a rector at this place some 200 years previous. Oh, it's not going to happen. Oh, that's unfair. Okay. There are a few abandoned villages that area that I remember rightly. Some whole villages were wiped out. I can understand it being wiped out, but if you've got some remnants, it's crazy that nothing's sort of connected it again, you know? Anyway, there is a ghost wandering around, and he's rather evil, and we believe it to be Thomas Ager. There is a statue in here. This is Old Nick. We've scanned him and all that kind of stuff. He has relevance to the story, but not yet. We have spoken to the groundsman, Mr. Russet, and he is going to let us in here at night. So that is our next stage. I believe we're done here for now. And we have to...
I think I've collected enough information
There we go, yep.
from here. Time to return to town.
That's what we'll do. We'll go back to town and progress the story some more. But yeah, that, like I said, is not necessarily about the quality of the voice acting so much as I can't stand that vicar's voice. It's so tedious. Yeah, so we have been wandering around the place all over. What was I going to do? Oh yeah, actually, before we leave, let me just show you some of my background stuff. Sorry, going to go quiet for a second again. Where are we? Here we are. We've had this place, obviously we know lots of locations around Saxton are based on real locations. So this one is a tiny picture, which is kind of strange. Let me just make that a bit bigger. There we go. And show you guys as well. Okay. This Northfield Church is actually based on a church still active in the ground. Yes, it is. Sorry, I was looking away from chat. Yeah, there are still places they have to be careful when they dig up bodies, isn't there? Because it just doesn't die, essentially. But yeah, this is Northfield Church. This is actually a church in Dullo, I believe it's pronounced, which is also down near Polperro in Cornwall. That's basically this location. That's this image almost. Let's have a quick look at a couple of others just to show you around the place. Oh god, that's a huge image. Let me just resize that. Oh good, and it's portrait as well. What a muppet. Here we go. That's that one. Another vague... It's not so easy to make out on this one, but that there is actually a blog post from Jonathan Bucks. That's him there, staring at the same church. That's the entrance... Oh, I'm pointing with my mouse on the opposite screen, sorry. Oh, you can't see it because my mouse goes on the game, so it's behind the image. But he's in the centre, and he's looking at the left-hand side. This is down where Mr. Russet would have been, as we saw him earlier. Let me just have a quick look at the last one. Just, because we can. There we go. Oh, I didn't cover that up, sorry. There we go. Okay. Yeah, so that's what it looks like again. So that gives us our main front image. Ran the underground through some. Really, is that tree really cut in half? Not in real life, but it is in the game for some reason. I don't understand. I don't understand the reasoning there. I don't understand how that works. But yeah, it's sort of a weird design choice to make half this image mirrored. Well, not half this image really, but this little bit here mirrored. And of course, that cuts the tree completely in half. It's very weird. I didn't realise they'd run the underground through some of it. That's just crazy. Is there a Starbucks? Not here, unfortunately. But let's cover that. And also, the inside is also based on the real things. So let's just have one last look at an actual image of Old Nick, who we shall encounter again shortly. But this time, on his appearance in EastEnders. So that's a couple of soap characters there, arresting statue of Old Nick. So yeah, there's that. Anyway, that's enough of that for today. That's after our little tour, I thought it worthy of just having a brief view of what it looks like in reality. And it's obviously, since these are photos edited into the game, they basically look the same. But it's interesting how some of the stuff gets thrown around. I was confused in my research because I got it mixed up with another church. I was like, wow, it's all over the place, but it's not at all. They had to stop to move bodies that were plague victims. That makes it, yeah, okay. I hope he got paid well. I guarantee you he did not. Certainly not well enough for EastEnders.
Enough information from here. Time to return to town.
I don't know why he says that again when he's already triggered to say it previously. I know that if you try to leave before he's got everything, then he will tell you he hasn't got everything, but why he would need to tell you twice that he has to return to town, I don't entirely understand. Maybe in case you flap around and forget what you're doing, I don't know. So he's doing most of this on his own again. Trying to crochet a witch's hat. Oh, right, okay. Does she want you to? Oh, sorry, day 2. Research is the key. My visit to Northfield Church answered many questions, but posed many more. Yes, yeah, there is that. There's a link between the Ager family and the Crown. What were they hiding? What was their secret? The museum is bound to provide some clues. It's time for some research, then pop in for tea at Nanny Noah's. It's turning into quite an afternoon. It is indeed. Been looking at the developer's catalogue. They really like the ghost hunting premise. They do. He is Jonathan Bugs himself and his sort of partner by proxy. They are. He mentions about how he joined the ghost hunting team, and he's not necessarily a believer, but he's willing to believe and has encountered some unexplained things as far as he's concerned. So he can't for certain say that, you know, ghosts exist, but he's open-minded about it. He enjoys the hunting anyway, I think. So yeah, I think that's why I like his games. There is definitely that undertone of spookiness in pretty much all of them, and I like the fact that I like that because that's, you know, a theme I enjoy, but also I like his dedication to it, probably based on the fact that he has that interest. Oh yeah, turning into quite the afternoon. Right, so we have to discover the identity of those who may haunt Saxton and beyond. Right, so we're still working on that. Who was Thomas Ager referring to in his journal? Did he harm him in some way? So we found a journal by Thomas Ager who was talking about old Nick, Nicholas Gurney, and we found a voice recording from, you know, an EVP of old Nick talking about Ager stole his hands. Learn more about Northfield, the Agers and other old families. Who is depicted as a statue in Northfield Church? That is old Nick. I don't know why that's even a question. We know that already. Who owned Harbour Cottage before the Mangles? Why would they haunt the place? Who was Spivey? Does he haunt the Saxon cabins and why? Pop by Nanny Noah's for tea. I need to give her the funeral plans for Thursday. Oh yes, I had forgotten about that actually. Right, so we make our way back through the tracks. Oh yes, the dodgy signal again. Back towards Sedgemoor Station. Oh, in my meanderings around their backstory, I also happened to encounter Sedgemoor Station, which I shall just have a quick show of. Where are we? Image here somewhere. This is it. It's actually a real station called Sand Place. Have a look here. There we are. And it, yeah, it's basically the same, but mirrored. You have to see it from the opposite direction. There is a ramp down, but not at this station. This ramp here that leads off is actually based on an entirely separate section of train track. I didn't bother with images of that. I thought, you know, you could understand what a ramp looks like, you know. Cover that up again. There we go. Oh, do you know what? I moved to the other screen. I was like, had the image over the top. You know what the? What are you
Has
doing?
a train just left, or is it about to arrive?
Oh, I didn't even know there was a hotspot there. I clicked on it by accident. You know, I went to the other screen and pointed at this, and I was like, "Oh, this here," and then you couldn't see it because I had the image up. Sorry, but you know what I mean. That ramp there. Anyway, right, back to Saxton, and well, yeah, he's going to do this a bit on its own. Yeah, so yeah, so Sand Place, the station is actually it's a small station that is just outside of Polperro, so another sort of Cornwall local area. Up this way. But yeah, it turns out if you go to, I mean, none of this is super in-depth research. I'm just sort of providing it to people so they don't have to bother going out their way. But turns out if you go to their website, which is darklingroom.co.uk, there is a what is termed like a development diary essentially, and there is a map of the south coast, an area around Cornwall, Polperro area.
Nothing ventured.
Which points out the locations in game which are used from that area. So you can you click on the real world hotspot, and it says, "Oh, this is this part of the game." You know. I would encourage people to see it, but maybe not just yet if you don't know the plot, because it might you know, ruin something. Ooh, nice storm on the way. I love a good storm. We don't get many storms where I live. Unfortunately, it's a pretty storm-free zone. The weather just never seems to coalesce into the right style. We get some heavy rains recently, but actual sort of like thunderstorms, despite the fact that it happened last time I was last week or whenever I was gaming. Beyond that, it doesn't happen that often. Right, so we are... Right, we're not heading back to the house. We're looping round up to Nanny Noah's. That's where we're heading. And I think once we're done with that, the museum may even be open. Let's drop in for lunch. Because we can. It's free. Why not? Clinky, clinky, clank, clank. Clank, clank. Ding. There we go. Oh yeah, we've got to wait for the dragonfly again. Every time. And... Oh. Okay, we can't go to Nanny Noah's, so maybe we have to go to the museum instead. That? Where we go? Yes. Oh, it's open now. Okay. So it's museum first. Sorry. Okay. Whatever. Right, so this is an interesting museum. Very quiet. It's also extremely well funded, I guess, for such a small, isolated place. Saxton Museum. Right, so this is the layout. That's useful to have, but I don't think we're actually going to reference it.
Good afternoon. May I explore the museum?
Of course. That's why it's here.
Thanks. I'm Nigel, by the way. Nigel Danvers.
How interesting.
Is
I'm
it
Oogle. Professor Oogle.
Professor Oogle?
Curator.
Such an
of
odd
this
name.
museum.
Ducking out now. Thanks for streaming, husband. Okay. Take care. I say take care. You know, you're just downstairs, but you know. I'll see you in a bit. Thank you for popping in. Is there an entrance fee?
Is there an entrance fee?
Normally, yes. But the museum is free during public holidays.
Which is weird. I mean, that's the weirdest pricing scheme ever, because the public holidays is when everybody's off. You want them to go out and spend money coming to your museum. But to say, no, pop in, it's free, how the hell are you meant to make any money if everyone's working all the rest of the time? It's crazy.
Should I be looking out for anything in particular?
Many of our exhibits are unusual or rare. What were you looking for in particular?
I mean, I don't wish to come across as, you know, capitalist as such, but this is a museum and they need to be properly funded. I feel slightly different about that than, say, you know, any other kind of business venture. What were we looking for? Well, yes, we're looking for the Anglo-Saxon crown.
What can you tell me about the lost Anglo-Saxon crown?
Is it lost? Something that has yet to be found is not necessarily lost.
I'm not sure I understand.
If something has remained hidden through centuries of upheaval and mischief, do you really think you have the right to disturb its slumber?
I mean, he's kind of right. If you hide something so that someone doesn't steal it, it's not lost. It just means that you don't know where it is because you're not meant to be the one having it. It's not yours. So I'm with him there.
Does the name Aeger mean anything to you?
The Agers lived for many centuries out by Northfield. The family home still stands on Raven Lane.
Where can I learn more about them?
Here, of course. There are some exhibits with Ager connections. The murder
He does.
of the mystery man may well be of interest.
Do you know, I hadn't twigged that, but you're right. He does sound exactly like him. It is. There is definitely something in the tone. I always imagined that this. See, this man looks to be somewhere because he's balding and he's got this moustache. I always imagined him to be older, so I say maybe late 30s. You know, that's. By older, I mean as in he sounds like a teenager trying to sound like someone middle-aged. You know, his tone of voice is just slightly, sort of almost too high, and not quite enough years in it to match the face, as far as I could tell. But you know, that was just me, I guess. Could I borrow any exhibits? I mean, I think it's safe to say we know the answer to this one.
Could I borrow an exhibit for a séance or similar experiment?
The answer is no. Be warned, our security cameras are everywhere. We see all.
Who's we? I don't quite understand that.
May I ask you about something else?
Yes.
These dialogue
but
trees are
do
getting
make
pretty
your mind
intense.
up.
Very multi-layered. Entrance fee, looking out for anything in particular. Possible to return here tonight to ghost hunt.
Would it be possible to return here tonight to ghost hunt?
Certainly not. Some of our exhibits are priceless. We can't have students running around looking for ghouls and
Students.
goblins.
Is the museum haunted?
Saxon has many old buildings, young man, which have played host to many characters. I believe some may be reluctant to leave the homes they once knew.
Thank you for your time.
It is my job to help.
Yes.
Information is free, but feel free to donate to our fund.
Yeah, just if you should want to. This here, now, I'm not sure as if this is a reference or just, a nice little model. But Darkling Room also produced the Darkfall series. I mentioned that last time. In Darkfall 2 happens to be in a lighthouse. I wonder if that's a reference to the light we find at the top of the lighthouse. It is very similar in design. Anyway, so we've got some... excuse me. We've already looked at the leaflets, we've spoken to him. Now there's the museum in total. No cameras. But now we just get to have a look around and all the exhibits. So this is exactly like a museum,
Believe there is treasure
but
hidden out there.
digital. So we just get to wander around and read things we don't care about, etc., etc. Some interesting facts about Saxton Museum. The museum was converted in the 1950s to the feast of displays and exhibits you see today. The feast. Don't miss a Saxton monster, a magnificent fossil discovered along the Saxton coastline. Learn about the Anglo-Saxon kings who ruled this area over 1,000 years ago. Indulge your passion for your local flora and fauna by visiting Saxton Museum Library. Sorry, I meant our local flora and fauna. New Haddon Industries. It's an interesting one. Donate several interactive touchscreen panels. Feel free to learn more about the town by poking and prodding these new additions. Poking and prodding. Don't forget, Saxton Museum is free during public holidays. A small charge is made at other times. Please visit the official website for further details and exciting news regarding future exhibits. Learning can be fun. saxtonmuseum.co.uk is a real website. It may still be up and running. I haven't checked for a couple of years, but it definitely did exist at some point. Sounds like Cerberus is in the background, growling away at us.
The museum is based in Saxon's old town hall, built around 1890.
Is a room we can see through a vent for seemingly no reason, and a picture of some generic old lady. Or is it an old picture of a lady? Whichever. There is so much. I won't do all the reading here because there are tons of exhibits. I will go mad. So I'll flash these up for a little while. Feel free to have a quick skim over them. But this basically represents 3 kings of Saxton. Actually, maybe I should read this one because it's about the Lost Crown. Okay, history tells us that the 3 Anglo-Saxon men ruled the area we now know as Saxton from the 5th century. They were Aldwulf and his 2 sons, Ganwulf and Pendraid. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly or not. Aldwulf made the briny seaside kingdom and Pendraid based in Olcombe. Little known about Ganwulf, although his kingdom is believed to be located in the farmlands north of Saxton, now known simply as Northfield. So somewhere around Northfield, Ganwulf had his kingdom of sorts. Arriving in wooden boats after the departure of the Romans, these men were highly skilled in craft, land management and animal husbandry. The existing tribes of Anglia required strong, knowledgeable and supportive rulers, so the established way of northeast Europeans proved invaluable. Centuries after his death, the Anglo-Saxon Chronicles remembers Aldwulf as a mannered and intelligent man whose sons carried on his good work for many decades. The influence and way of life still echoes throughout the modern Anglia and beyond. There we go. And here's a nice little... Right, so we can use something here. Now, we can't take photos.
No photography, filming, or tampering in the museum.
He is watching us at all times. However,
That's not right.
we can do voice recordings if it so needs to be. If it so needs to be, if that is so required. Whatever, you know what I'm saying. So here we get some. That'll be the fish. I guess that's maybe the one that, you know, washed up on the shores. Some binoculars. Nothing telling us exactly what they're about or why.
Be sure to check the upper gallery.
That's our way
to
out.
view some of our
That's
artistic masterpieces.
Let's go up this way. And here is the butterfly room. East Anglia known for its massive collection of butterflies, obviously.
The new video panels can be found in the butterfly room and upper gallery.
Always watching, Wazowski. Yeah, exactly. This video happens to go on for a long time. One thing I've always never quite understood is the fact that there is a beam here triggering the projector to play. What if more than one person comes in? Do they just keep turning it on and off as they go? Or does it just constantly reset? Someone could sit here and it just gets reset every 5 seconds. It's like, God damn it, I'm trying to see the end of this film. I believe there is an achievement for watching the entirety of those, but I will not be doing that.
Except on public holidays.
Here is one of their infamous cameras. Just randomly, for the sake of it.
Do browse the library for books about Saxton and beyond.
He is on this tannoy. I mean, he won't let it go. They don't even sound automated. It sounds like he's just there every 5 seconds saying something new. Just like, relax, you've got one person in here at the moment. Let it go for a second. Oh yeah, and these are their famous touchscreens from Haddon Industries. Again, more footage. This is, again, real footage of the local area. These are the places we're going to encounter in the game in various locations. This is Northfield Church. But we won't go. They literally go on for, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes solid, and that's a long time just to stand there staring. So we won't do that this time. Voice recording. Apparently there's something here, but not on audio. Interesting. Well, we can't do the others because again.
No photography, filming, or tampering in the museum.
So I have to come back to that at some point. Saxton Warrior. It's a replica helmet of a Saxton Warrior. Hello, we've been looking for a bit. Well, I got breakfast. How do? Oh, well, thank you very much for lurking either way. Welcome. How are you doing? Are you well? How was your breakfast? At 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
The May Day Fair.
We are doing fine here, thank you.
This Monday.
Well, I was just about to catch you up, but you know exactly where we are. Spivey's Scope. We've heard the name Spivey. He was the pirate who was storing stuff in the caverns. So Spivey is of some importance. He had connections to the Aegers, I believe. 1892, Walter Spivey, famed sea captain, found himself lost in the thick North Sea fog and headed for the rocks near the Martello Tower. Using his trusty telescope, Spivey was able to spot the church tower in Oldcombe peeping out from over the grey spectral mists. Realising his ship's proximity to the rocks, Spivey was able to avert disaster and swore that his telescope would bring good luck to all that had the good fortune to employ its uses. Yes. So that's a connection there, at least. Is a door.
Don't forget to explore the
right, thank you.
mysteries
Little
surrounding the Saxon
dizzy tired
skeleton.
again, but all right. Dizzy tired? You're that tired, eh? Spidey Spider-Man. No, Spivey, not Spidey. Oh, right. I was waiting for him to do something. I didn't realise I was in control again. Definitely some thumping going on behind there, but nothing to be done at the moment. So here is our random butterflyness, I guess.
Take the weight off your feet and watch our film
Just
about the town.
get to look at some butterflies. Interesting. And what's out this way? I don't have the whole layout remembered off the top of my head, to be honest. No, it's still a little one. L, where was going on with the volume? It said, it feels I'm going to fall. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I think I understand what you're saying and sympathise a bit, but still sucks.
Neolithic times.
The cat is doing a weird wandering around. What are you looking for? What's the matter? Ooh. Okay, another here. I wonder if we're going to get a voice recording of this one. Oh, definitely by the looks of that. Peeking.
There's definitely something. I should listen to the recording.
Sure, okay.
An eerie recording from the museum's Noose exhibit.
You don't say. A noose giving off an odd recording? Can't think why. Oh. I think it's safe to say we know what that's going on there. I just thought it was sort of thought it was some very inappropriate things. People don't bother with that. Oh my god, yeah, every one of these exhibits has a little voice thing explaining what it is. Let's see how long they are generally.
Beakers and pots. Discovered in the woods and fields around Northfield. They are thought to be 4,000 years old. The Saxton claw. Originally thought to be Grindel's claw. By the dragon-fearing folk of
It's like he's
ages
trying to speak
past.
to us.
This fossil is thought to date from the Jurassic era.
Okay, that wasn't too bad. I don't think there's tons of these. Let's have a quick look.
The Suicide's Noose.
Lovely.
A grisly reminder of Edward Molina's fate.
Oh,
The local businessman and celebrity killed himself in the late 1950s.
he is the one whose diary we're reading in the cottage. He lived at Harbour. He owned and lived at Harbour Cottage.
The Last Trumpet. A surviving musical instrument
That's the
from
spin-off game.
Saxton's long-lost brass band.
Oh, okay. These aren't that long at all. That's not so bad. A ball.
Nautical history. These items were donated by Walter Spivey,
Ooh.
famed seaman of the Saxton Seas.
Okay. That's all we're going to get on that. Fair enough. It's not so bad.
Many archaeologists believe there is treasure hidden out there in the fens.
Yes, they do. Piano time.
Old-time music. Old
Just-
gramophone recordings, donated by Wesley Russet
Oh, he's the
after
groundskeeper.
their discovery in Oakham Church.
Oh, okay. That's worthy of note. We'll come to that later, don't worry. Clocks, lamps.
Railway memorabilia.
Hi, yes.
The old station clock and a trackman's lantern.
These voice recordings are almost completely redundant in some respects. They're literally just telling you what's there. You could put that on a bit of paper and have people read it. You don't need a whole recording for it.
The Sax. A replica Saxon sword based upon a priceless item found in the murky swamps of Sedgemarsh.
I think priceless has 2 E's. I think that said prickless, but don't quote me on that. I'm not a very good speller.
The secret Saxton recipe. Discovered in the basement of the Lighthouse Cafe, this ancient recipe is thought to be Anglo-Saxon in origin. Saxton punch. A flask of Saxton punch, a strong medieval beverage. Discovered in the wine cellar of the Bear.
Of course. Because these buildings, which look like they were built in, like, you know, the 1700s, are definitely connected to ancient times.
The museum is based in Saxon's old town hall, built around 1890.
Okay, so that's back where we came. Oh, yes, yeah.
Be sure to check the upper gallery to view some of our artistic
large black
masterpieces.
crows.
We will be sure to check it. That's what we're off to do now. I'm just going to have a quick spy at the stuff around here. That's nothing, apparently. I'm sure there's probably actually a very famous
The new
painting, but I
video
don't know it.
panels can be found in the butterfly room and upper gallery.
Elevator with like a single door always feels like there's not enough going on, you know. We can't go to 0. I won't bother wasting your time on that one. 2.
The museum is open from 11 AM to 6 PM, except on public holidays.
At which point we won't tell you when it closes. How does that work? What is this? Is this supposed to be wallpaper that has worn away back to the wood? At which point, Jesus, you know, you've got touchscreen tellies, put some effort into the wallpaper. Or is there just like somehow like wood that just sort of fades in and out of existence here? I don't quite entirely understand that. But that picture means nothing, apparently. Ooh, look. Some coats of arms.
3 crowns. A link to the legend.
Do browse
Oh yeah,
the
it does as well.
library.
I didn't even notice
Books
that bit.
about Saxon
That's the same?
and beyond.
3 crowns.
Oh, okay.
A link to
He's
the
only looking at
legend.
the one in the middle. That's fair. What's with this music? Music's not familiar at all. Interesting.
The May Day Fair will be held on Saxon Shore this Monday.
An Egyptian-style bust, obviously.
It's a symbol, but I have no idea what it means.
It means chair I sit. Yeah, makes perfect sense to me. Rather creepy people. There's be another video, which we won't sit around. Got to head off. Thanks for the stream, son. Oh, no problem, Titus. Thank you for popping by. I appreciate it. Have a good day, or evening, or night, or I assume you're probably going off to bed. I don't know, but take care of yourself, and thank you again for popping by. Egyptians was here. Yeah. Yeah. For some reason, right, I believe I know this one.
No
Oh, damn it.
photography, filming, or tampering in the museum.
Right, we can't. Okay, I was misremembering. So we can still voice record here. That's fine.
There's definitely something. I should listen to the recording.
I reckon it's going to sound exactly like
That's not right.
crows.
Strange sounds recorded from the painting, Tree of Crows.
What do you know? Tree of Crows painting sounds like crows, which also sounded like crows backwards. I believe that's what mostly happens. Like when you're hearing the EVP, it's actually sort of just muffled and rewound, like reverse. Sorry, I think that's basically what's going on here.
Don't forget to explore the mystery surrounding the Saxon skeleton.
Right, yeah, we have to call the elevator. Wait, hang on. Oh, bums, I may have... He didn't really register the painting at all, didn't he? Maybe I need to... hang on. See how quickly I can go back to it. Shouldn't take a second. Maybe we have to EMF it as well? But I'm pretty sure It is a relevant puzzle piece, and as such, you have to get some kind of acknowledgement from him. Where are we? So we've done the voice recording. Okay, so he recognises that. No photo. No photo? Photographing. Photos. Right, okay. Interesting. That's right. Sorry, I thought he was meant to make some other kind of reference. That's all we can do. So never mind. We'll worry about that. Wait, hang on. Oh god. Do I have to go back again? Hang on. He does have to recognise it in some fashion. Maybe not. Maybe not. Okay, let's not worry too much about it right now. We'll go to one. There's still a little bit of... Oh, there's a little bird's nest in the elevator shaft. I forgot about that. That's some edgy birds that want to live in that. Anyway, perhaps I'm misremembering, so we won't worry too much. We can always go back if the worst case scenario. Right, so there's only that way there. We've got this way up here, okay. Oh yeah, because we can look around this way again as well. Here is the little library section he keeps talking about.
You can marvel at our fine collection of butterflies.
Yes, we could, but we won't. Saxton monster. Oh, that's the Saxton monster, not the big fish. Does the Trilobite have any voice recordings for us? No, funnily enough. Okay, that's right then. Is that the picture? Yes, it is. Nobody we care about.
Take the weight off your feet and watch our film about the town.
No. Books. Right. Oh, look. Slightly coloured books. Handy. The Lost World of Doggerland. Oh, yeah. The Drowned World of Doggerland? Jesus, I'm not going into this. Feel free to look at this later if you really want to read it, but I can't imagine it's very noteworthy. Does the dragon claw breathe fire? Does it? No. 12 ink illustrations? You spoil us. This looks familiar. Oh, the russets. So, right, okay. A moderate to strong brown, coarse reddish brown to brown homes spun cloth, a winter apple with a rough brownish skin. That's the meaning of russet. Doggoland and got excited. No, it is not Doggoland, unfortunately. Doggoland even. Middle English from Old French, browse red, Old Latin, russus. Okay, so Russet, you remember, is the gravedigger. His family has been here since the Doomsday Book. Oh yeah, 1086. Yeah, there we go. Yeah, so just after the Norman invasion. Carrying Wood and Saxton, that's their area. So they've been around a long time. Hill House at Oldcombe became the family home after construction in 1547. Now stands on the original site of the Russet home. No record survives. Many believe the crypt at Oldcombe Church joined the original house by a series of passageways and tunnels. Local legend tells of smuggling and piracy, yada yada yada. Black Death, Great Plague. Later years, the Russ family spread over the borders of Anglia, some shores of Canada. Right. Oh no, I didn't mean to zoom out there. God damn it. Right, was it this one? No. Oh, this is a repeat of the one in the Is it exactly the same though? It's Celtic Corner, I think. It's basically the same there, so don't worry about that. Here we are. So that's the Russets. Aegers. See, there is always this depiction of multiple Aegers. The game's plot would have you believe that each one of these is one we've heard of, but they are born and live, you know, years, sometimes even centuries apart. It's crazy. An Aeger piece of land or field, a preacher or holy man, collective name for members of the Crow family. A link to the name. Interesting. Thought to be Saxon in origin, you don't say. Once large and wealthy, well-known family, vanished from Anglia completely, partial emigration. So there are still Agers going. Owned a house in Raven Lane, yes. Confusions to which brothers lived at the house at the correct ages. Thomas Ager is listed in the rood screen of Northfield Church, being erected in Paris in 1799. This seems utterly impossible, given that the very same Thomas Ager appears in the family portrait in 1899. Either the brothers had a peculiar sense of humour, or Thomas Ager lived to be 100 years or more. Exactly. Of the brothers, it is Frederick Ager who is best known due to his work modernising the town of Saxton, which included the construction of the net store and rebuilding of the harbour wall, no mean feat in 1847. Nathaniel Ager is known for very little, although his life and attitude would suggest he craved fame, fortune and power. It is rumoured that a great ornate stone tomb containing his remains lays hidden beneath the huge pipe organ at Oldcombe Church. The organ itself, a monstrous machine powered by steam, was designed and built by Nathaniel himself. It is also thought that the construction of the organ drove the remaining family members into utter poverty. William Ager, he's the one we're kind of familiar with because we know he's most recent. Last of the Anglian family line, died alone, unloved. That's a bit. Why would you put that in an official record of some kind? He was unloved. I mean, even if you said he wasn't very popular, it's a bit harsh just to say he died unloved. And poor, at the family home in Northfield, babbling about a great secret that he must share. Of its validity and importance to Saxton, Ager was most insistent. Sadly, William died during the night of a terrible fever before he was able to share his burden. Academics have theorised that William and his brothers were connected to the legend of the lost Anglo-Saxon crown, but is never substantiated. Has never been, substantiated. So there we go. There's that. That's those
There has
three
been a
books
settlement
there.
in this harbour since Neolithic times.
So even the game is not sure exactly how old some of these guys are. Interesting. Another picture on this side.
What haunting eyes? They follow you around.
A boat of no importance, apparently. Oh my god, I completely forgot about even this whole section.
Many
I won't read all of this.
There is treasure
There's
hidden out there
a
in
lot
the
going on
fens.
here. But this is the top out, Saxon Caverns. Polite warning to the curious. A warning to the curious, being a reference to the book I mentioned that this story is connected to. Apparently there are many other references from, stories of various kinds around. But a warning to the curious is the most obvious plot and setting wise that you can appreciate from a simple view, whereas some of it is more subtle and woven in. Then we have the bottom part. Yeah, these are double
The museum
layered,
is based in
or so to
Saxon's
speak,
old town hall,
customs and
built around
superstitions.
1819.
With the sound of a sad song, others hear wailing or cries for help. That would be the caverns in which we saw the ghost of a woman waiting for her Pasque flower. Emily Travers. 1940 saw tragedy in the Saxon cavern. Emily Travers, daughter of the local doctor, is thought to have perished in or near the caves after becoming overcome by the strong Anglian tides. Regular sight to the local people who described the young lady as warm, generous and loved. Spectacles were discovered washed up on the beach. That would be these spectacles here, I assume. Shattered glasses. And this here is slightly bent. Very weird, someone's tried to pull it off by the looks of it. Was she abducted? Did she wander into the Saxon caverns and lose her way? Did she fall from the cliff by the old boat store? Emily's departure may always be a mystery. Only to some, not to us.
The museum will be closing in 10 minutes. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Okay, that's our warning. That basically says, you've looked at all the things you need to look at. Oh my god, he's not going to say that every time, is he?
The museum will be closing in 10 minutes. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Jesus, I think he is. Okay, we'll leave the rest of these for another time. We won't go through that sentence every time we come back to the screen. Oh, actually, Oh god, he's going to do this every
The
time.
museum will be closing in 10 minutes. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Do you know what? We can do something on this screen that I wanted to look at and I missed. Oh my god.
The museum will be closing in 10 minutes. Good night, ladies and
It wouldn't be so
gentlemen.
bad if I just didn't lose control every time it happened. Hey, look at this. An
There's
odd
a
hole in this map.
In the map.
Shut the fuck up, dude. I know exactly. So this is one of those random things you shouldn't...
The museum surveillance can't see me from
We
here.
can't work that out. We have no idea the museum surveillance can't see us. But there is something we can do. We can take a picture of this map. We're going to need that later. That's the only reason I came back. I counted my stitches wrong and need to start again. Oh no! Hopefully that wasn't because of this crazy man talking about 10 minutes every 5 seconds. We won't read that because, you know, he's going to mention this. I'm sorry, we're going to get it another couple of times before we get to the front door.
Minutes. Good night, ladies and gentlemen.
Spoilers, we will get a chance to come back here, so
New video panel.
anything you see here that looks interesting, we won't miss. We'll catch it
The
later.
museum will be closing in 10 minutes.
So
Good night,
this bit here
ladies and gentlemen.
looks thoroughly interesting and entertaining, and it is, but we can't see it right now.
Museum is
Oh,
open
good, he's shut up.
11
Okay,
AM
there
to
we go.
6
We're
PM,
out.
except on
Because you're
public
using double
holidays.
black yarn. Ooh, oh, right, okay, yeah. That's understandable. You need to shut up. Random clangs. Oh, it's the actual bell, that's why.
The Saxton Bell.
Yes, yes, it is. Randomly clanging away. So, another point to notice here. Sorry about the sound disappearing. Oh, that's the old image. I mean, there is a new image for this one. Let's have a quick look. The museum doesn't look terribly like its actual location. That's massive. Let me just shrink that down slightly. My God, what resolution is this image? It's huge. Hey, come on, come on, right down. And there we go. Okay, that is the real location. Obviously, sans bell. But yeah, it doesn't look heavily like it. It's obviously the whole road around it has been removed, and of course we can't see very much left and right because of the addition of a street that is a little more narrow and things like that. But the basics are there. So that's the museum there. There you go. Just a little note for people. Right, wandering past. Dog barking. Right, we can go into Nanny Noah's now. And sounds like George has probably eaten her.
Ah, here you are.
She says from the kitchen. But that's George.
Hello, George.
Fine, ignore me. Okay. Just have a quick peruse of some of the things around here. Picture of a random little girl. Can maybe assume that might be her. Some people lamenting their basket. There's
An
dragonflies.
insect? Maybe a dragonfly?
Oh yes, yes it is probably. There's her there, obviously, and the radio. The radio, actually, we can muck around with.
5S, west by north, 3.
Shipping forecast again.
19.
Harpsichord music, obviously. Is that the one we're on? No, it's not.
5.
Actually, I prefer this one. I think the music automatically actually changes anyway, so you can zoom out and it will... Yeah, I like this tune. It will stay at what it is, but I think once we activate like a cutscene, it will just change to
Sit
whatever we
down
want it to
while I put
be.
the kettle on.
5.
Yeah, here we are. Just, it's a combination of stations now as well. We're getting the shipping forecast overlaid the music we were just listening to, which are on 2 completely different frequencies, but we won't worry about that.
Northeast, 1, 11 miles, 1,026
It's coming right for us.
East 5, 11 miles.
This is not a little montage.
Rising slowly.
Why do people have so much change just lying around the place? And that coin's got like George the Fourth on the back, for Christ's sake. That's George the Fourth, George the Fifth. Well, George the Fifth actually. Jesus, that's not. Don't ask me about my own kings and queens. I'm the faintest. I think it was the last one before Elizabeth II. so that music, that money is like I don't know what, nearly 100 years old. Oh yes, and we're back to these people again. Looks like he's wearing Crocs. I mean, suitable at the beach, but still.
19 miles. 1027. Rising slowly. Bridlington. East northeast 1. 11 miles. 1027.
I've had quite a day.
I can see. You must tell me about it.
A lot of food for two people.
But first, you must have some questions or something to show me.
We do. Right, well, we'll start with questions, apparently.
Can I ask about Northfield Church?
Of course, I'll help if I can.
Oh my god, okay. Again, conversation trees.
I believe Northfield Church is haunted.
Oh, without doubt. Who do you think it is?
I'm not sure, but all clues are pointing towards the Agers.
The Agers? Oh, Nigel. You're going to have to take care.
It was
Why?
the sixth even.
Is there
Wow,
something I
God,
should know?
I'm so off, sorry. Thank you.
Brothers. 4 of them, all connected to the local churches.
See?
Yes.
4 brothers?
Thomas Ager was a rector.
Spanning 200
at
years.
Northfield.
How dark-hearted heathen that he was. Nasty man.
Nasty man. The Northfield Church is haunted.
I'm revisiting the church later tonight.
Later.
How? It's a jolly long way and there's no night bus.
The train tracks lead
Ow.
to Carrion Wood from Sedgemarsh Station.
In that case, you must take this charm.
I felt there was someone or something watching
It's an odd-looking
from
charm.
the railway sidings.
I know, Nigel. Be careful tonight.
So yeah, we get the forked charm of protection, I guess.
I met Mr. Russet, the gravedigger.
Wesley Russet is as old as these fens.
He talked about the old ways.
Did
Dabble in
he?
cryogenics.
We have to talk about that, you and I.
Have I done something wrong?
No, not at all. You're just not ready for such things.
I need to have the talk of the old ways.
May I ask about something else?
Of course, I'll help if I can.
So that was question 1 finished.
You were right about the antique shop.
Oh, Nigel, I told you not to visit.
But we had to.
Curiosity killed the cat, you know.
Speaking of cats, there seem to be a few missing.
Yes, vanished without trace, dratted creatures.
Not a feline fan, eh?
Oh, not at all. George loathes the things.
Suspect number 1.
The museum presented many mysteries.
It hides more mystery than it exhibits. Dig deep, my boy. The answers are there to find.
As well as more questions, I expect. Can you take a look at this item?
Of course, I'll help if I can.
Oh yes, we've got. First of all, we have to give her this for Thursday.
I have this from Northfield Church.
Oh, goodness. Funeral service? And so soon?
The vicar told me to bring it to you.
Vicar at Northfield? That was quick. Oh, thank you, Nigel. Yes,
quick.
thank you. I shall get trimming and strimming later tonight. Poor Evelyn.
Evelyn.
Oh, now. That's enough chatter for now.
Oh, that's
Give
it.
me your hand.
I have one thing to give her.
Why?
Okay.
What do you want to do?
Read your palm, of course. Come.
Right,
Firstly,
everybody look at your
Nigel,
hands.
we shall look at your lifeline. It's this crease here, which runs from the side to the base of your hand. You have the best kind of lifeline, which is strong and clearly marked.
Oh dear.
It indicates good health and vitality. Secondly, above the lifeline is the second most important marking in palmistry. The headline here is separate from your lifeline, indicating a logical and direct way of thinking. The
Wow.
depth of this
I have
line
two of
also
them.
indicates you have a good memory, which is always a good thing.
And one's at like a 90-degree angle. That's strange.
Next, your heart line, which is here from the centre finger to the left of your palm. Yours
Okay.
begins at the middle finger, which indicates you have a materialistic look upon life and love. These small broken lines indicate you have been unlucky in love.
Hmm.
Lastly, your hand is square in shape, very square in fact. This
Really?
suggests you're a hard-working, dedicated,
I'm not sure that's how you should be
earthy
measuring that.
individual. This is a good sign. It means you have good values and provide much for those
What?
you know and work with. Is this your first palm reading?
Yes, actually. I didn't realise the palm could be so revealing.
Was it accurate?
What does it mean if you can't see
that
the
would be
lines for
terrible.
hair?
For now, I can tell you it was spookily, actually. They used to burn.
I won't tell you, but I'll tell you.
You know.
I know, superstitious fools. Even isolated villages like Saxton were ransacked by witch hunters, angry torch-bearing thugs,
But they didn't get you,
and the
did they?
paranoid religious zealots of the Abbey. I believe the innocent people, burned to lives, still haunt this town. They are seeking justice for their deaths. A terrible business.
Indeed. Ugh. Sudden night. Sudden moon. The damn thing is gonna kill us all. The size of it. And it's almost like the moon is powering those lights as well. As it gets closer, they come on. Beep, beep, beep. Jesus. Oh, cat in the moon. That's no moon. No, it shouldn't be. Jesus. That's death waiting to happen, is what that is. Oh, we're back at the house. Jinx, snap, whatever you want to call it. Okay, we're going to look at our table, put our pictures and EVPs in such a way.
I have added any new evidence to the collection.
Nice. And we're gonna, I believe the plan is take a rest because we're going back out to Northfield this evening. Scissors?
Has someone been here?
Well, unless you left the scissors there before you went out. Don't know why you would or where you got them from. Not going to drive you mad in the middle of the night, is it? Hello? Well. Night 2. Return to the Carrying Woods. It is time to return to the Carrying Woods and Northfield Church. I must remember that Catherine Carswell and Narry Noah have what they have said about the train tracks. What is a strange item the old woman gave me? Is it a protective charm, an effigy, or just new age nonsense? Be wary of the train tracks when exploring. Meet with Bob Tawney in the Bear. He said he'd have something for me. Oh yes, okay. Try to observe more supernatural activity at Harbour Cottage. Ghost hunt at Northfield. Does Nicholas Gurney haunt the place? Do the Ager brothers still have any power of the church or its graveyard? And I'm afraid that's our 2-hour mark, so I think that's going to have to be that. Let me just save it so I can remember that I've saved it. Save your future. Here we are. I've always got to make sure I hit the right button because they don't, they're not just simple text of, save and load. Yes, I'm going to overwrite it. That's fine. Okay. So yeah, afraid that's going to have to be it for today. Do you know, I completely forgot how long this game is, even at a non-casual pace. I feel like, you know, obviously, except for like one or two, you know, backtracking, it's been a pretty, you know, quick shift around, but we're still going. It's crazy. So we've got one stream on Thursday, then it'll be Halloween, so we won't be done before Halloween, but we'll keep it going, keep the spooky season alive for another couple of weeks. So yeah, all things going well. I'll be back on Thursday with more of this, obviously, and then I can't be sure about Tuesday. I'm going away for a couple of days, and I may not be. No, actually, I won't be ready on Tuesday. I'm not even sure I'll be back on time, let alone, you know, ready to do any streaming afterwards. So I'm afraid there won't be another stream until the following Thursday. I'm going to take the Wednesday off, probably just to recover from the journey back on Tuesday. So at least Thursday next week will be the next chance we catch this. Unfortunately, which is kind of a shame, because I really do like this game and I like to play more, but you know, time is against us in that regard. But thank you all for coming. Anyway, I appreciate you all being here and chatting and such. It's very kind. Thank you for the new follow. I don't like shouting people out if they're not in chat, so you know, I'll leave you do your thing. So, but I appreciate it all the same. We will raid a Voozle, because that's probably where I shall be afterwards. We'll just do that. Show him a bit of support. So let's see if I can get this thing again. So it's like I'm learning new every time. And let's go. Let's just take that. There we go. I have to sort of actively. I didn't put a full stop in there. That's rubbish. Don't tell me that rubbish. There we go. Thank you. Already have a raid in progress. Oh, okay. I didn't notice the raid was there. It's fine. Never mind. So yeah, we'll do that anyway. So, oh, actually, he may be finishing his stream, but we'll jump in at the end anyway. So, thanks again, everybody. I appreciate you all being here. Have a good day and good afternoon. Azimuth, I hope you are feeling. I hope you start, you know, feel better. Nevik, thank you for being here. Petapple, thank you for also turning up and laughing. I don't know. Whatever you've done, I don't know. I appreciate you all being here. And Ranikor, I appreciate you're also streaming. Maybe not even here anymore, but that was very kind of you to stop by. So yeah, thanks everybody. I'll see you Thursday. Take care till then. Have fun. Bye.